Now, please do me a favor, put your hands together and welcome to the stage. Give it up for Evanna Lynch! How are you doing this morning?
Yes. Cape Town, having a wonderful time. It's been so warm and welcoming, and it's so nice to see all the Potter support. You know, it's going strong here.
I know. So, how have you been to Cape Town before?
No, never. I've not been to South Africa, but I've heard a lot. Like, I have a lot of friends from here, so yeah, big excitement to be here.
So, what's on your list of things that you want to see and do while you're here?
Well, I've already done a few things. Been to the tabletop mountain.
Okay.
And I've been talking non-stop all weekend about your little creatures, the dassies.
Oh.
Nobody told me about these incredible little animals that walk up the rocks. And everyone was just like, oh, they're dassies, it's fine. Like, well, this is pretty good, pretty major. So yeah. We went to Boulder Beach as well to see the penguins.
Yep.
And that, I couldn't look at the penguins, I was just looking at this little Pokemon on the rocks.
Because you're a huge fan of animals, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I grew up with animals. I feel very comfortable with animals, yeah.
You have a favorite animal?
I'm basic. I love cats. I really, cat fans here. Lots of people have cats here? Yeah.
And what do you personally have?
I have 2 cats and a dog. And I had 2 auditions for it. And that's the easiest job I've got in my life. And everything since then has been a struggle. Like, I don't know, I was just very blessed to, the right character came, and I knew the books inside out. I was so passionate about that character. And yeah, I had such a wonderful experience, like, with the producers of the film. They really encouraged me to be creative and to bring my creativity to this character. So yeah, very, very lucky and weird start in this business.
So you knew the source material and you knew Luna was who you were going for?
Oh yeah, that's all I knew. My brain was just colonized by Harry Potter's house of brain. To the point where, like, in my late life, I'm like, I should become more well-rounded. I should read other books. And I haven't. But yeah, it was great in a way that I was just, you know, people, there's, you hyperfixate on things. That was just my obsession, and it really worked out for me, yeah.
Now, what are some things that you loved about Luna?
I like how she makes people feel. I like how she made me feel. And this is a reaction I get all over the world, that people say, oh, she gave me the confidence to be myself. And I think that's such a beautiful thing to give people, because we're all kind of, you know, inwardly unraveling and anxious and everything. And to be with someone who makes you feel calm and makes you feel like you can drop your defenses and you can just be, I just think that's such a gift. And I always thought that every time I would read the book, I would feel, oh, okay, I can be my weird self, it's fine, I don't need to keep trying. So I love that, and I love how open-minded she is. You know, she's not necessarily not logical, she's very creative, imaginative, and that's my kind of people, yeah.
Now, besides Luna, who clearly is one of your favorite characters, who's your other favorites? Like, who are, let's say, top 3?
From Potter?
Yeah.
I do routinely reread them, because, well, a big thing for me joining the films was that I was like a Harry Potter encyclopedia, and so it's a huge part of my identity. And then as I've gotten older, I'm like, oh no, I'm forgetting things. And so I do reread them. And I would say, last time I reread them, I really loved Sirius.
Yes.
And Sirius was one of those characters who, he had a really hard time, and he never really got the happiness and joy he deserved. And I guess at this point in my life, I just admire those people who quietly have integrity, yeah. And I know this is a controversial one, but I really love Gilderoy Lockhart. I find him so funny, and I know he's a bit of a fraud, but I just love someone who's very hard on myself and critical, and he's the complete opposite. He thinks he's wonderful, and he has way too high an opinion of himself, and I kind of find that refreshing when someone just has so much confidence and love, like self-love, sorry.
So how, rereading the book as you've gotten older, has it changed?
Yeah.
Like, does it feel like, what, do you relate differently to different characters, or?
Yeah, definitely. And I find my house has changed as I've got older. Do you know what I mean by that?
Alright.
Hogwarts houses. Yeah, when I was a kid, I was like, yeah, Gryffindor. You know, I was just like, oh, I love the heroes. Wanted to be one of them. And now I'm like, I actually think wisdom is superior to courage. Because it's like, you know, you've more knowledge, you've more experience of life. You're not rushing in this fiery, impulsive, attractive way. So yeah, I'm so much more Ravenclaw these days. Yeah, it took me some time, but I got there. And then, what else? Yeah, but yeah, when I read the books, I definitely find different characters jump out to me. And I think now when I read them, I actually really feel the trauma in them. I think as a kid I saw the magic, and that's what is beautiful. But now I see, oh, he's an orphan. He doesn't have parents, and he has this room that propels him to do these incredible things. So yeah, I think there's quite a lot of pain in them.
It's funny, I'm sure all of you are probably thinking the same thing, like, I never would have thought to reread. I would just be like, oh, I've already read them, and now I'm like...
No,
So
I'm sure lots of people here disagree.
I don't know. Now I know I'm going to put that on my...
Well, because it's comforting, you know. For me, it's like a grounding. It's like coming home. If I'm ever doing something where I feel so out of my depth and I feel like I've lost my center, Harry Potter reread plugs me right back in to who I am.
That's so cool. What was your audition process like?
It was an open audition, the very first one. I was 14, and my dad brought me, and there was just thousands of people who, you know, we all wanted to be in the films. And it was a cold read. This term is when you haven't been given the audition side, so you don't get to learn them off. But I already knew the book, so I was like, this is so easy. I know what to do here. And I just remember the casting agent kept asking me to do it again and again, and I was spending a lot of time in there, so I was like, oh, this feels quite good. But then, you know, at the end they said, okay, well, we'll give you a call. And I heard that they say, we'll call you, you know, call us. And then they did call back on Monday. And then my parents were like, what's going on, you know? Because I lived in the countryside in Ireland, and I remember the casting director called me and she said, you're going to be doing a screen test with Daniel Radcliffe and David Yates. And I was like, oh my god, and I couldn't go. I had his pictures all over my wall. I knew everything about him. It was a bit like, they shouldn't have let me in that building. But yeah, it started to get very serious. And then I remember the casting agent said, so when you come to this audition, don't shave your eyebrows. And I was like, what? And she was like, I think you, and I probably was trying some weird beauty thing, you know, I was like 14 and I was experimenting. But when she said that, I was like, oh, they're really looking at me. Oh, okay, this is really serious. Like, people in London in a film studio are discussing my eyebrows. So I was serious really quickly. And then I had the screen test, and that was like the best day of my life. Spent the whole day with Daniel Radcliffe. It was amazing. And then I went home from that and I cried all night because I thought, that's it. That's as good as it ever gets, and I'm not going to get this job. Because actually David Yates, the director, had given me a book. He'd given me a Harry Potter book and he'd signed it and said something like, you did a great job. And I thought that was him saying, thanks so much, bye. And I was also like, I obviously already have Order of the Phoenix, why is he giving me this? You know, it was funny. So, and then there was 3 days of torture where I didn't know what was happening, and then they told me. So it was actually quick, yeah.
So from the audition to the first phone call to the screen test, what was the period of time?
2 weeks.
Wow.
It was wild, yeah.
And then after the screen test, what length of time to your first day on set?
Probably another, let's see what else is out there. It was like very close to filming, and then I got in the door. Yeah.
So what was your first day on set like?
It wasn't too crazy. I think they knew I was like terrified and very out of my depth. So it wasn't like a scene where I had dialogue. It was just a Dumbledore's Army scene, and that was with all the group and you know, casting patronuses. So it was nice in that I got to know all the other kids, all the other young actors, and just started to feel welcomed before I felt that I had to, you know, do something good.
You have a favorite person to work with on set?
Oh, I loved watching like the adults. Like I loved watching, and that was like mind blowing to me because I thought if you're a professional actor, you are perfect. I thought you were perfect every day and you never mess up. And whereas they had a completely different approach on it, and that's like the genius is that they realized your job is to turn up and play. Your job is to turn up, and despite all the pressure and all the money and the stakes, you're going to be the child and you're going to find the magic there. And they did, like every take they did, it would be different and more playful, and they'd say, what if we do this? And they didn't care if they, well, they probably did care, but they didn't mind if they made a fool of themselves. And whereas as a child, I was like, I've got to be absolutely perfect and not like a human being to keep this job. And yeah, ironically, it's the opposite. So I really liked watching them.
Did it get easier? When did it start getting easier and feel more comfortable to be on set?
Not that, like, all the fifth one, I was constantly having that feeling of waking up going, that didn't happen, did it? You know, like, that was a dream. And then going, oh no, it's happening, cool, get to go to set. So that didn't go away for a while. But then, yeah, by the sixth one, I think I'd had the film come out, it had a really nice response from fans, and I felt like I was there representing the fans, protecting the stories and that character. So yeah, and also that was the film where it got a bit spicy, didn't it? The romances started kicking off, and there was the Slughorn Club and the Slug Club, and yeah, I just started to enjoy myself a bit more. And then the last one was so sad because everyone every day was like, what are you going to do when it ends? And I didn't want to think about that. So yeah, this one was the most fun.
Now, share with us some of the stuff you did after it ended.
Say it again?
After it ended, what are some things that you did afterwards?
I very quickly moved to America actually, and I was there for 5 years. And I was so out of my depth because I think I lived in this very comfortable, sheltered Harry Potter world, and they did a really nice job. It's interesting growing up, and a lot of young actors come out and say that they were exploited and they had a really bad time. We had an amazing time. We were so protected. We didn't have social media. We weren't really conscious of the fame aspect, except when you go and do like premieres and stuff. So that was coming out of Potter. That was like a shock, really, a rude awakening of how competitive it is. So yeah, I was there for a few years, did a couple movies, and then I moved back to London and started to do a lot of theatre, where I think is where a lot of actors actually learn their craft, because it's a daily routine. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing the past few years. Yeah, lots of things.
So which do you prefer? Do you prefer live audience, or do you prefer looking at the camera?
I prefer the camera, actually. Yeah, way prefer it. It's just more, like, every day is different, so your imagination is trying to keep up, whereas doing theatre, my imagination gets a bit bored, like having to do the same every day. So I do prefer it, but it's different. You make long-term friendships on theatre because you're in a little group, whereas on film, sometimes you don't meet people. I've actually weirdly got to know a lot of the Harry Potter actors more after the films, doing these kind of events, listening and things. But yeah, I do prefer film and TV.
What's one piece of advice that stuck with you that somebody gave you either on set or in theater?
God, one piece of advice. I think it was, it wasn't directly to me, it was to Imelda Staunton gave advice to the director of a play I was doing with theatre. She told him, you have to get no sleep, like that it's very physically exhausting, and that her job when she's doing a play is to sleep a lot and then be on for a few hours. So I think about that a lot, and then I'm trying to think what else. Something good will come to me as soon as I walk off stage, I know that. I remember Natalia Tena, the actress, yeah, she was in Potter as well, and I remember I was just young and anxious and overthinking everything, and we did a press thing together, in life. And she just went, mate, stop thinking. She was like, stop thinking. You're thinking too much. And I was like, oh, yeah. Like, it really, I do go into these dark spirals. And I don't know, I often think about that of like, just live, just be in the moment. Don't try and control everything with your thoughts. Which is sort of my weakness as a person. And as an actor, I have to go, turn it off. Yeah, that's good. Just simple advice is usually best, I find.
No, very much so. So you're here with us all weekend?
Yes.
So you're doing photos and autographs today?
All day today, and then half of Saturday. Yes. Unfortunately, I have a family wedding on Sunday, so that's why I'm like doing a weird schedule. But yes, I'm very excited to be here all day and to meet everyone.
All right. So all you got to do if you want to meet and speak with you is you're going to go up to the second floor, I believe. That's where photos and autographs are. You can visit and find out more about you in person. So do me a favor, please put your hands together.
Is that it? Is that
Yeah,
the
that's
chat?
it. Yeah.
I thought we were talking to...
No.
No? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's real short. The second one. So you have a second talk tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Great. We'll have a chat then.
Correct.
Yes.
100%. So give it up.
Evanna!
Remember, second floor.
One's up.
All right. Stick around, folks. Up next.
Anyways, guys, what I wanted to say was, Evanna Lynch, if you're seeing this video, please note that I really enjoyed that you signed by Luna Lovegood Funko Pop, and also that I could tell you how much your portrayal of Luna Lovegood meant to me, especially in my teenage years, and how being different makes you you, and how being unique makes you you. So, yeah, if you're seeing this video, please note that from the bottom of my heart. I really, really appreciated that I could just speak a few words with you. And yeah, I hope to see you at the next Comic-Con event again, because it really was lovely talking to you. And I guess all I can say is, Wingardium Leviosa.